Hey fellow VR pilots, I hope you guys are doing great. It's been a while since I recorded the last update video on FSKneeboard, but with the upcoming release of FSdesktop version 0.4, I thought it's time to, jump in, do a quick video, show you what's new and how you might benefit from it, and also requesting your guys' feedback. So let's get started. With the new version of FSdesktop version 0.4, you will be greeted with this nice welcome screen. The idea is to kind of give you the gist of what you're supposed to do if FSKneeboard doesn't work for you as expected. Especially if you're trying to control an application and it doesn't work. What I noticed, or what I learned, is that the way FSdesktop interacts with other applications is based on a low-level Windows API, and if an application that is being started as administrator or that somehow has elevated privileges should be controlled with FSdesktop, then FSdesktop itself has to run as administrator. But that's not a great idea. You don't want a graphical user interface application to run as administrator. For security reasons, I don't think it's a good idea to run this kind of application as administrator. So what I did is I extracted the input processor, and you should now be able to run just this portion of FSdesktop as administrator if you have to. This is what this screen is basically telling you. And I also want to know from you if this fix works for you or if it doesn't. So let me show you how it works. Here we are. This is the tour that you guys already know. I don't think we have to go through it here on stream or on video, but what I want to show you is something I showed you before, and that's the calculator that you're already familiar with. As you can see, I can click around and my commands will be forwarded to the Windows calculator, which I have running right here on the other half of the screen that's currently not being recorded. But it's important that it's visible on the screen, okay? The documentation tells you that, the InGame Tour tells you that, so, and I'm telling it you now, so please make sure that any application you're trying to control with FSdesktop is visible on the screen, at least partially. Okay, great. Now let's jump over to another window, which is the Windows Event Monitor. And as you can see, if I try to click around here, nothing happens. And that sucks. And that's because even though I don't have to agree to this program running as administrator, it still runs with elevated privileges. So let's take a look at how we can get control of this piece of software via FSdesktop. And by the way, this is just an example. So any application that you're running that asks you if you want to run it as administrator cannot be controlled with FSdesktop as long as you don't do this. Okay, so try this. If there's an application that you cannot control, please try this. There are two things you want to try. First thing, you want to click this button here. It says Input Processor Privileges, Run Input Processor as Administrator. I click this, it takes a second, and now you probably won't be able to see this, but now the Windows UAC is invoked and it asks me if I want to run this software as administrator. I click yes, and it will take a few seconds, but now basically under the hood, the entire input processor has been restarted. So now let's go back to FSdesktop and click into the software. And now I haven't tried this before. I didn't restart the connection to the software. Let's see if it works. Aha! See? Now if I click somewhere inside this window, you can see how the window updates and well, I'm now able to control this window. If it doesn't work out of the box, please go back to the window picker, reselect the window, and try again. And you should be able to control any application that runs with elevated privileges. Now, I'm on Windows 10, and it seems that Windows 10 and FSdesktop play together quite nicely. I noticed that most people who complain about problems with applications and how to control applications, they seem to be running Windows 11, and I don't really know what's the problem here? I don't have Windows 11 and this is one of the reasons why. What you can try, you can decrease the input speed. That way when you click somewhere, the entire process will take longer, but it will be more reliable. The software will switch to the other application, send the click there, and then return to Flight Simulator. And every step of this process will take a bit longer. So you can try this, and this should work better on Windows 11. If it still doesn't work, again, please try reselecting the window and see if it works now. Okay, as you can see, it takes a bit longer now that I've decreased this, and I can go even slower to slowest, but this is kind of a pain. You can see how long it takes to process your click and, you know, update everything. So, I'm not a big fan of this, but if someone has a really big problem and this is the only way to solve it, go for it, okay? Please let me know if either of these two workarounds solve your problem. Now, for the second big thing of this update, you can see the in-game panel scaling slider up here. And what this does, well, as the name suggests, it rescales the entire UI of FSdesktop. This is especially important if you're on Sim Update 12, which I assume most of you are by now. You basically have to be, right? So you're on Sim Update 12 and you're running in VR. Then you may have noticed that all the in-game panels are really, really small now. I'm not in VR right now, so this will look kind of weird, but it works in VR. Try it, it's nice. So what you want to do is simply take the slider, drag it over, and as you can see, everything, the entire UI changes, and it looks silly here, but it works nice in VR, and you get a much better, you know, the panel looks much better now. Great! So these are the two major changes with FSdesktop version 0.4. If you've already purchased the license of FSdesktop, then you can simply download it and it works. If you haven't, and if you've been on the trial before and you've exhausted your 3-day trial, please go ahead, download the version 0.4, install it, and your trial period, your 3-day trial period should restart. That's this. Now, one more thing. I've recently started a Patreon page for, you know, people like you who just want to support the project beyond making this one-time payment, which I really appreciate. Thanks, guys, for buying the software and being part of this journey. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and yeah. But if you want to kind of support the project beyond this, then consider yourself invited to check out the Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Chris vom Rhein. I'll put the link on the screen right now and in the video description. Just take a look. There's nothing like essential there. It's just for people who want to show their support. So I appreciate you guys checking this out. I really enjoy the journey with you. Making the software is a lot of fun, and I really enjoy seeing how you guys put it to use, and how both FSKneeboard and FSdesktop seem to improve your life as VR flight simmers. That's a lot of fun. So yeah, let's stay in touch via Discord, and I see you next time. Bye.